The views of the guest are that of the guests and do not represent nor reflect the views and opinions of the Lockoutmen channel, the Recruiter Call channel, nor its host. This site content is for entertainment, educational, and informational purposes only.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're getting into the debate about CDL training and where to get your start. There's a lot of buzz about mega carriers offering free training programs and guaranteed jobs. But is it really the best path for everybody, right? Well, before I get into this episode, I want you guys to listen to what this young lady has to say about going to the trucking company's CDL truck driving program.
No more wasting time. Let's get it.
Hold on!
Stop getting these CDLs from local trucking schools. The reason why y'all can't find trucking jobs outside of those little local trucking schools is because mega carriers give guaranteed employment to people they've trained through their program. The mega carrier students gets first priority on employment, which is why local students usually don't get picked, because big companies would rather hire people that invested into their training programs rather than somebody that already having their CDL coming in. I'm not saying you'll never get an opportunity, but majority of people that did not go through a mega carrier training program have a difficult time finding trucking gigs after local graduation. Anybody that's looking into getting their CDL, go to a mega carrier and apply. ITS free. They don't start taking tuition out until you officially get your guaranteed check anyways, which is way more better than paying thousands of dollars on a local program that won't give you a guaranteed job to pay that OFF.
I don't care what nobody says about mega carriers. You don't have to be there for long, just get your 1 year of mega carrier experience, then go somewhere else. Again, I'm not saying that was everybody's experience, but I'm stating the obvious.
So leave your thoughts about what she said in the comments below, right? Tell me what you guys really think about that, because this is a heated debate on Facebook right now. But of course, many mega carriers advertise quote unquote free CDL training, right? But let me tell you about the free CDL myth. There's always a catch. Nothing, and I do mean nothing, is free except for this air that you breathe. Hell, some places you can't even get a cup of water. You would think you could get some water in a cup, but they charge you for the cup. Okay. Let me get back on track. My bad. So you're essentially signing a contract, committing yourself to work for that company for a certain period of time. It could be for 12 months or maybe 18 months. Now check this out. If you leave early, you could be on the hook for the tuition costs. And that could be anywhere from $8,000 to close to like $10,000. You won't know until either the company lets you go or you decide to leave that company because you're not making no money. And then they'll throw all that stuff back at you and say, hey, you owe us about 10 grand. And guess what, sir? They're going to put that on your credit report. So yeah, that perfect 720 that you went in thinking you're going to get your CDL for free, you're going to come out with a 200 credit score. I'm just saying. These trucking companies can and will put you on a hook for the tuition costs. Plus, think about this. After you graduate said company, that guaranteed job that they so-called guaranteed, it might not be for you. You could end up at a trucking company that you might not even enjoy. So check this out, right? Let me just tell you. Let me tell you. Story time. I thought about going through the trucking company CDL program. I thought about that. I gave it some thought. I went online. I seen all these trucking companies offering free CDLs. Well, CDL without the S. And they all said the same thing. You can get your CDL for free, but you have to work for us for about a year or two. And at that time, I thought that was a good idea. I could have saved my money. I can go to a trucking company. I can get my CDL through them and work for them as a plus. But man, that rabbit hole right there that you go down, that rabbit hole is deep. It is deep, right? Just like what the young lady said in the opening. Yeah, you can have a ready-made job. You can ride and see the world. You can see everything after you get your CDL with said company. And if you ride out the program, you don't have to pay for it, right? Sounds good. Sounds good. But again, that rabbit hole that I went down. So before I give you the benefits of going to a CDL truck driving school, let me just say the pro outweigh the cons between the two. And the biggest pro, if you decide to go the way of the CDL program at a trucking company, is your license is going to be restricted to just auto. Lockout, what do you mean? I just want to drive. Yeah, you want to drive, but look at it this way. You get with the bum company, they give you your CDL, and let's just say that company is, again, not good for you. You're not getting paid, you're not getting the miles you want, just getting all around garbage. And let's say company B decided to reach out to you and say, hey, we see you, we want to rock with you, we want to give you a little bit more experience. And you say, hey, cool, let me go ahead and get with you guys.
Say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Can you drive a manual? What's a manual?
That's exactly.
See, again, the biggest pro of going to a truck driving school is the fact that they will teach you how to drive a manual. And you can have a choice between not having a restriction on your license or having a restriction on your license. If you don't have a restriction on your license, then the opportunities is a little bit more than a restricted license. So now that I got that out the way, and now that you probably might have a better idea, so let me just get into the benefits of attending a CDL truck driving school.
Job placement assistance.
Many schools offer job placement right off the rip, right? They can pretty much help you into getting that truck driving job. Now, sometimes it doesn't necessarily has to be a truck driving job. It could be a job that requires a CDL in order to operate the equipment.
Experienced instructors.
Top schools have instructors with years of experience in the industry. And that's what you want. That's what you want. Now, not to say that the truck driving company CDL program don't have instructors that have years of experience, but with the close-knit getting trained properly, in my opinion, more of a one-on-one feel with an experienced instructor, I think that benefits you a lot more.
Comprehensive education.
Trucking schools offer a cohesive education that prepares the future truck drivers for their exam, i.e., they don't just throw you in and just run everything through you. They take their time, they break everything down, and again, like I said, it's cohesive versus going through a company CDL program where there's 30 or 40 guys. Y'all got like limited amount of time with the instructors, limited amount of time of what you got to get done. Say that you got to get all of the paperwork done. You got to get your permit done within this certain amount of time. At least with a truck driving school, you'll have the time to get your CDL permit.
Hands-on experience.
Trucking schools provides better hands-on experience with the students, in my opinion. Now, mind you, everything that I'm mentioning is based on my opinion. Yours can vary, though.
Networking opportunities.
Any truck driving schools can lead to valuable networking opportunities, I think. See, when you go through a trucking company CDL program, you're limited to the opportunities that they can offer you. Versus if you go to a school, you're more susceptible to more opportunities out there, especially if your license isn't restricted.
And an emphasis on safety.
And as always, safety is a top priority in the trucking industry. Some of these truck driving schools do prioritize safety in their training program. Not to say that trucking company CDL programs don't, but the school emphasizes it more. So I think that is the perks of a CDL truck driving school. Stronger community, personalized training. The list could go on and on and on. So listen, the bottom line, okay, of choosing between a CDL truck driving school versus a trucking company CDL program depends on your individual goals and circumstances. Consider factors like cost, job security, flexibility, and the type of driving you want to do. So if you feel comfortable of having your license restricted, then yeah, go ahead, try one of these trucking companies CDL programs. There's plenty of them out there to choose from, but
choose wisely.
Don't just take my word for it, though. Listen, all this is just my thoughts and opinions. You don't have to base everything off of what you hear from me, because my experience is different from yours. I've spoken to plenty of drivers who gone through both routes, and their insights when I talked to them was invaluable. So not just my experience, but I talked to veterans that had learned from their pops, from their pops, from their pops before them. I talked to drivers that had success with trucking CDL programs like Prime, Rail, Snyder, Swift. Okay, what you want to do before you make your decision is to do your research, okay? Do your research. If you can do your research, then you will get a better understanding on what you probably might be looking for. Talk to drivers. Go to the truck stops and talk to them and see which route that they went. And again, don't just base your experience on what they tell you. Just take everything that you hear, mix and match and mush it up, and then come up with your own experience, your own program. Visit schools. Listen, I told you guys my story. I went to go do a lockout. I met this lady. She was a truck driver. I got inspired by her. I listened to her story. And from there, I went to Tri-Seed Trucking Academy in Euclid, Ohio. Now they go by a different name. I think it's Transportation Innovation, some crazy stuff like that. I don't know, but they still a great option for you guys if you're here in Cleveland. I would definitely suggest Tri-Seed Innovation Technology Center in Euclid, Ohio. And definitely talk to them. I went in there. I talked to Ian. I talked to a couple of instructors there. And boom, from there, I slapped down the credit card, and here I am umpteen years later. So explore your options. There's plenty of them out there. Your trucking career is too important to leave the chance, especially if you're deciding to get into it. So what do you guys think? CDL truck driving schools or trucking companies CDL program? Your journey to becoming a successful truck driver starts with the decisions that you make. And make sure that you make an informed choice. Until next time, everybody.